everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Wowhead Weekly number 79. We had a huge alpha build yesterday. There's some stuff going on with the Warcraft movie, merchandising news, so many things. So before we get into all of that, I would like to introduce my lovely co-host, Wowhead site manager, Perculia. That's not her. Everyone. This is her.
Yeah, this is me, and this is Pepe. He's an elephant today, and we'll talk about why he's an elephant at the end of the show. And yeah, we had a lot of alpha stuff, even though we thought maybe we wouldn't get a build this week because it happened super late last night.
Yeah.
But we have everything. I'm still here doing the show, even though I'm tired. We also have Children's Week, Time Walking, and Darkmoon Fair, so a lot of stuff on live servers for a change. And of course, the movie news is really picking up because it's being released soon.
It's so close. So, okay, before we go any further, I am allowed to talk about this, so I want to talk about it just for 30 seconds. I asked specifically if I was allowed to talk about it. They said yes. So I'm actually going to view a media screening of the Warcraft movie in 4 days.
That is so exciting.
In 4 days.
That is so exciting.
And I get to do, like, really short on-camera interviews with, like, major casts, like Paula Patton, Travis Fimmel,
so cool.
Rob Kaczynski.
You should ask them, like, what their favorite weapon is, and,
I know.
Yeah, like, what their favorite character is. Like, ask them questions that aren't, like, what was the CGI like?
I had this, like, idea last night that I wanted to run by you. I was thinking about doing all super, like, one-answer rapid-fire questions because I only get 4 minutes per group.
That's really
So,
short, yeah.
like, I thought they would be fun if I pulled it out and I was like, Doomhammer or Garona's dagger. And then everybody has to answer. And then you go to the next one and it's like...
I think that'd be fun.
Like... would you rather be in Stormwind, or I guess Orgrimmar didn't exist yet, or like an orc base camp, or like regardless of what you played in the movie, Horde or Alliance, and then like throw some really random ones in there, like peanut butter or Nutella, just to like mix it up a little. I think that might be kind of fun, and like because I want to be able to get a few. Like 4 minutes isn't very long. Like my Toby Kebbell interview is like 45 minutes long, and that's only like 10 questions. It's really not that many. So I'm like so scared of like asking super in-depth questions and having one question take up the whole interview.
Yeah, I think my coworker, when he interviewed Rob Kaczynski at PAX, had like maybe a little more than 5 but less than 10 minutes, and he got a few good stories about like naked raids and doing Ice Crown and DKP and his favorite spec. So yeah, you should definitely ask Rob Kaczynski some Warcraft stuff, because he remembers everything from, like, what he did, 6 or 7 years ago, and he was top 10 DPS forever.
Right,
so
I know.
I want to hear that.
I know, I'm excited. He's the one person that I really want to ask, like, specific WoW questions to, but I thought it might be fun to do other ones that were all, like, questions from the Warcraft universe that would be relevant, because I'll get to see the movie, so I'll, like, know if certain things are like relevant to what their knowledge would be outside of the game, but would also be like important to people who play the game. So if anybody out there is watching and has any ideas for stuff like that, please tweet me, because I want your ideas. Like 76, this is a Soldier 76 shirt.
Yeah, we are going to get to that.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a little while, but let's go ahead and talk about the alpha build that took place last night, because it was huge. We thought, now Perk and I had thought that maybe there wasn't going to be another alpha patch. Maybe it would just go straight to beta, but we were wrong. Well, I was wrong.
Yeah, they still added some stuff. But yeah, very exciting thing. First thing they added, second thing I looked at when I logged on, was that the Stormwind Park is rebuilt.
Yes, I have a video of it.
Should we put up a spoiler tag? I'm not sure how...
Is this spoilery?
Yeah, it's kind of like if you stare hard at certain things, it's spoilery.
All right, hang on. I got to put it on your face for a second. There's Perk. Copy the spoiler tag. Bring it back over here.
Okay.
Put the spoiler tag on us. Okay, and now I got to bring it to... All right, 1, 2, 3, quick. Oh my God, spoilers. And then hold on back here. Okay, I'm gonna put the Stormwind video on. So if you want to, like, it's really hard to spoiler tag this though, because they have to look away. You know what I mean? So I guess I'll make a noise. I'll give you a signal when the spoiler is over, guys. Okay? Okay. Ready? Go.
Okay, so the Stormwind Park is rebuilt. It was destroyed in Cataclysm by Deathwing, and it's a little less cozy than the other park, but it is really grand. You can tell they spent a lot of money and gold on this. There's memorials to lives lost. There's a Dark Souls reference to Solaire of Anderhall, who was watching the sunrise. There are druid and herbalism trainers there. And the video is now going towards the reason we have the spoiler tag, which is that Varian is killed in the Broken Shore scenario for the Alliance, and this is his tomb.
I'm surprised it's outdoors.
I'm surprised it's so far away from his wife's too. Like, she's over in another district of Stormwind.
Hey, you don't know their relationship. Maybe they have an open relationship. A very open, districtized relationship.
That could be true.
So, it looks good, though. And this is something people have been asking for a hot minute.
Yeah, it's different, obviously, than the original one, which, was cozier with the purple shingled buildings. But I think it looks nice. It fits into the mood of Stormwind while actually seeing something new. It's not just, like a reskin building.
Yeah.
So I think it looks pretty cool. And, as a night elf, I was really sad around the time when Darkshore got totally obliterated. So maybe there's hope that we'll see small but meaningful updates to some of the other zones that really got destroyed during the Cataclysm that you do quest to help, but they sort of stay in their destroyed phase, and the phasing doesn't make sense years later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm hoping we'll see that. But yeah, I know a lot of Alliance players are really happy that the Stormwind Park is finally rebuilt.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, ready? We're going to do the secret...
Okay.
The secret
right.
signal of no more spoilers. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! See, anybody, headphone wearers know. Everybody knows now. The spoiler is over. So yeah, that's a thing that happened, and a lot of people are very excited about it, particularly Alliance players. Horde players don't really care, let's be honest. We also got the new Legion loading screen. What do you think about it? I'm going to show it. Do you want to tell our opinions afterwards?
Maybe let's show it first. And yeah,
Okay.
this was the very first thing I saw when I did patch stuff. It's very green.
It's the greenest.
I'm not sure. I think maybe it's too green.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say, if you guys have been following me at all on Twitch or seen any of my creative, streams or anything like that, I am currently in sort of this, I don't know, I'm, on a kick of, painting galaxies and stuff. So
Right.
I felt kind of inspired by the loading screen, as lame as that kind of sounds, with the sort of dark portal-y looking thing with all the green, and then you see you can see in the background when we go back to it, you can see the planets or the moons and the stars, and there's sort of a hazy orange mist, and it looks very, very menacing. I actually don't care for the Doom Guards. I would like it better without the Doom Guards.
Yeah, I think that
it's there's not enough of them to be threatening.
Right.
So
yeah.
They just sort of look random.
Right. Yeah, I think that's my thing. There's just, it's the center feels very green, and maybe if they had more Doom Guards in the front, it would cut the bright green. Because if you're getting DC'd and you're frustrated, do you want to stare at this gigantic green blob facing you?
Well, hopefully you aren't getting DC'd.
Right. It's harsh on the eyes after a while. But I mean, it's okay, I guess. I think Miss Pandaria was kind of radical in that it was more peaceful than the other ones. But it was definitely very cool to sort of just open up the alpha and not know what was going to happen, and
seeing that. I don't know. Looking at it again, I get what you're saying about the whole green thing, but I don't know. I kind of like it. It really feels like you are entering something. It feels like some sort of doorway or gateway, and when you put in your login information, you're actually going inside of something. Although I would agree with the chat that the red buttons are very jarring against
that is
the lime green. So I don't know if they were going to leave it this green. Maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea to consider reskinning those buttons to a different color. I also while I understand that it's green because of Legion and Invasion and whatnot, it wouldn't be terrible to see the original Dark Portal has that kind of galaxy black flowing stars thing. It might be cool if that was around the outside, and then you saw the green kind of coming from within and then up the middle. But I really don't dislike it, and I don't mind that it's green. It looks good with the logo. It looks good with the whole aesthetic of what you would expect in a Legion themed expansion. It's very reminiscent of the Demon Hunter starting area, and I'm a huge fan of the moons and the orange haze and the stars and stuff like that in the background. But I definitely agree with chat that the buttons are they're very jarring against that lime green.
One thing we have to do for next show, which I forgot to mention, is that there's new loading screens, and the Broken Isles loading screen is really pretty.
Yeah, we'll get
like
those
that,
in next show.
It's more like demons and Varian and Sylvanas fighting, so we'll do that for next show.
Yay.
But they were also added as well.
Yeah.
This next part also has spoilers.
Oh, okay. Ready? Well, I'll have you talk about this. Put this on your face.
Okay.
And hold on. Spoiler, click. All right, you're good. You're good.
All right. So, this build also added the Broken Shore quest line for the Horde, and a few weeks ago we covered the Alliance quest line, which, as we mentioned in the Stormwind Park segment, you're fighting all these demons. Many are resurrected from past expansions. The Alliance and the Horde are trying to work together, and Varian is killed. And in the Horde Broken Shore quest line, at the end of it, you're helping Vol'jin, and he is very seriously wounded. He calls you to Orgrimmar as well as the other faction leaders. There's a cutscene that's not in there, but basically Sylvanas is appointed the new leader, and then the cutscene happens, and then Vol'jin's body is on a funeral pyre as the entire city of Orgrimmar is outside paying respects.
So he's not MIA. I mean, we were kind of given this, like, Vol'jin's missing in action, but he's not really missing. Now he's confirmed to be dead.
I mean, maybe something happens.
What the heck? He was war chief for, like, a day and a half.
I know.
My God, this is like Game of Thrones at this point.
I think that was one of the top comments on Wowhead for the video. People were like, whoa, what's happening here? I mean, it was kind of touching and a contrast, though, to see how surrounding Varian, like Jaina is arguing with the other faction leaders of the Alliance, and there is conflict, and she storms out. But with the Horde, like everyone in the city is like outside kneeling and paying their respects. So like it felt like nice just to see that unity, because Orgrimmar, like there's the siege of Orgrimmar, and several races were sent out of the city. It was a really tense situation, so it was nice to see that community spirit, I guess, even though it was for a really sad event.
I'm going to interject here for a second, because Nobble just said he's not dead.
Oh, he's not? Oh, oops.
No. I believe that we are being led to believe that he's dead.
Okay.
But he's not. There was another recording from a conversation that was removed later where Vol'jin leaves Sylvanas in charge while searching for an old friend, so it's confirmed that it's not him burning in that pyre. But it seems like Sylvanas is the only one who knows that it's not actually him burning in the pyre.
Okay.
Double spoilers!
Yes, even more spoilers.
The plot thickens. It's like Romeo
awesome.
and Juliet. He's faking his own death. Now I'm more excited.
That is very cool.
I love it when Nobble's in chat and he can help us on things like this. Are we good on the spoiler tag, or are we continuing?
We are good. We're just talking about a vendor who sells expensive things.
Okay, it's not that big of a deal. Hold on, I have a picture of him. There he is. So he's this of course it's a gnome. First and foremost, of course he is a gnome. His hat is amazing. And he sells, you can't really see it great in this picture. Here, I'll make it bigger. Don't mind us being covered up right now. But he sells the prismatic bauble, Madman's luggage, the celestial calf, and the bloodfang cocoon. Now, the bloodfang cocoon, if you guys remember, is the spider mount that we didn't know where it came from, and Perk and I do not like it. The celestial calf is the little baby hippo that's like sparkly hippo guy. And then the Madman's luggage is what, a 32 slot bag?
34 slots.
That's enormous. That's enormous. And what's the bauble?
It's this, I don't think people have actually bought it yet, but based on spell info, it's speculated that there is a trail of rainbow stuff behind you, similar to some of the mage glyphs.
Oh my god. I've never needed something so badly in my whole life.
But, well, so as you can see from the image, these things are very expensive.
Yeah, it's a gold sink.
And after we took this picture, we found him again on the alpha. He just like spawned for a few minutes and then went away. And the prices were even more expensive with the spider mount, around 2 million gold. Do keep in mind it's the alpha and stuff is not final. But yeah, right now, I mean, the trend is that he sells things that are quite pricey.
Wait, so do the prices change randomly, or you found it again and it was just a different price in that?
We're not sure if the build changed the prices, but either way, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, but like at this point, 100,000 gold is affordable. Like most people have. I'm not saying hundreds and hundreds, and I mean a lot of people do, but like if you actually do your garrison missions every day, it's likely that you have at least 100,000 gold, maybe a few 100,000 gold, and something like that was a gold thing for 100,000 gold is affordable, or like you could budget that, you could save up, but like something like 2 million gold, like that's something that like I don't know, like I currently have like I want to say like 250,000 gold right now across all my characters, which isn't a lot. I'm not like bragging. But like I wouldn't even I'd be like, "Oh, well, that's not something I'm ever going to be able to afford because I know I don't have the self-control to 10 times my gold."
But yeah, I know that some of the developers, whenever we tweet about this, they're like, hey, just so people remember, prices are not finalized.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I remember there was a lot of conversation when you were re-speccing on the alpha, like super early, and
Oh
the
my god,
cost
people
was
were
really
so
high.
mad.
So yeah, we don't want to have that happen and have people be like, oh, it's 2 million, it's permanent and set in stone. Like maybe some guy just stuck some extra zeros. We don't know. Maybe it's meant to be 2 million.
Yeah, or wouldn't it be kind of cool if it changed though? Like every time he spawned, the
Yeah, that
prices
would
were
be cool.
different, so it'd be like worth kind of hunting him. And well,
Right.
maybe we don't hunt the gnome. That sounds a little bit like not okay.
I don't
But
know. He's hunting our gold. I think that's fine.
amazing. Now I know there were some reputation updates in this most recent. It wasn't this alpha patch. It was the one before that, right?
No, I did the post Thursday morning thinking we didn't have anything, and then that evening it's like, hey, like, here's double the amount of reputation items.
Oh.
So after I did the alpha post, I went back and I updated it.
Well, let
But,
me
like,
go ahead and flip it over to you then so you can talk a little bit about reputation because it's a lot different in Legion.
Yeah, so people got interested in reputations because you need the 6 main factions that revered for the first step of Broken Isles Pathfinder, and it's not as grindy. And Ian Watcher Dev said this in a blue post because people were used to Warlords of Draenor, where you had to, like literally kill mobs in an area forever to get rep. And so how you get reputation now, there are 2 ways. The primary way is through World Quest. Most World Quests give reputation with a zone. You have to be 110 to unlock the World Quests. And if you do World Quest related to the featured faction for a day, you get additional rep when you do 4 of them and a special cache of loot. And you can have up to 3 featured factions with their emissaries up at a time, so you don't feel compelled to log in like once a day to, catch them all. So as mentioned, World Quests require level 110. The Nightfallen in Suramar have an additional quest line. Remember, they're the magic addicted, secretive night elves. You have to prove your friendship with them. And a more minor way of getting rep is that players under 110 can get rep through insignias. They come from treasure chests, and they're also BOA. The cool part is the rewards, of course. Each faction has some gear and toys, and even some shoulder enchants that let you loot a profession reagent from corpses. And the new thing that was added in last night's build was that some of the factions have artifact items that are tied to appearances. And 4 of the factions got battle pets, and the High Mountain Tauren tribe got these totems on your back as well as a log.
I'm into it. I'm like super into that. I love the idea of, and I said this about Warlords of Draenor as well, as I didn't feel like the rewards were worth doing stuff, but like, as a shaman, like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to lug around a totem. I need that. I have to.
I'm gonna just scroll through the post to see what there is. It's interesting. So there's a toy that lets you teleport back to Shalaran in Suramar. There is an extinguished eye pet. There is a homemade party mask toy to fit in with the Nightborn.
Oh.
For Valajar, you have the Sunborn Valkyr pet. That's like the happy, not corrupt Valkyr.
Which is going to be super popular because the unborn Valkyr is so hard. It's still hard to get. It's still hard to get.
You can throw a toy boat to friends. You can turn into a Helheim spirit with the Death Door charm.
Oh, that's cool.
For the Wardens, there is a Warden Owl pet. There is a Legion Pocket Portal toy.
Ooh, I wonder what that does.
I think so. This is the thing. Like, they used to put all these from treasure chests, and then they removed all of the treasure chests. Like, they removed all the toys from the treasure chests.
Oh.
So I took a picture of it, and it had, like, summons all this, like, purple stuff, and it looks pretty cool. There's also it's a very difficult to pronounce, the SYXSEHNZ rod, and you can see the Night Elves of Azuna and Valshara as ghosts, not banshees. For the Dreamweavers, you have the Path of Elohir that has like fluttering leaves on the ground, like the TCG flower item, a moon
Dream
feather
Weavers.
statue, which is like a boomkin statue. Um, you can
Oh, there's
loot
a lot.
harvested. Yeah, there's so much stuff. High Mountain. Yeah, there's the Blood Totem, River Main, War Harness, Skyhorn, War Harness, High Mountain War Harness, the Windfall Totem, and then the Log, which is the unfinished totem.
That's
Which,
amazing.
yes,
That's hilarious.
and the flavor checks that it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. So
That's so good. It'd be extra good if you wore the lumberjack title while toting that around.
yeah, that would be good.
Oh my god. This is everything. So like that makes me super excited because I was a big believer in that. I still am, that like Warlords of Draenor had a lot of potential. It's just that the rewards didn't really feel like they were worth getting.
Yeah.
And when I hear things like, oh, there's all these like cosmetic totems and these portals and toys and pets and just all these different things, like I'll do stuff to get things.
I know some people were going on that like, there's no mounts on this list yet, and of course, like this is still alpha stuff is subject to change, but there was also some backlash in Warlords of Draenor that the reputation mounts were not that interesting. They were just recolors of existing mounts.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's better that there's things like a cool Valkyr or, a party mask and a toy boat, which it's more unique than just a recolor of whatever in Warlords, and then that way each mount feels more unique.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. And it seems like, I mean, we've gotten previews for a lot of new models of mounts in Legion that are actually unique models that we haven't seen in the past. Like, the Infernal mount is crazy, the Fox mount, the Spider mount. We've seen the shark, which we're going to talk about here in a minute.
The little, like, the underwater fish.
Oh my god, the octopus
jellyfish
thing, the jellyfish. Like, there's a lot of new, unique mounts, whereas even when Warlords of Draenor came out, I mean, what were there, 6 or 7 mounts data mined?
Right,
We
and
already
also
have
the
more than
types
that.
of mounts are more fantastical, like an
Yeah.
infernal versus like, here are, a bunch of wolves.
Here are a lot of wolves and boars, like so
Yeah.
many wolves and boars. So I'm already super excited. Like, I need the fox mount. I don't care what I have to do. The fox mount is so amazing. I also really like the stupid jellyfish mount. I don't understand it, but I want it. The rat mount? Like, what is the rat mount even? Like, there's just, like, they're way out there. I love the idea of a giant sewer rat that's somehow, like, morphed into a vehicle. I don't even know. Like,
I like that. Yeah.
So fantastic. But we just talked about the shark, so this is a good transition, I think, right? Transition.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead. Yeah.
no, you go.
Okay. All right. So we talked about the 6 main factions, but there's also a friendship NPC, a Dalaran fishing vendor, and that's like Nat Pagal or some of the Tillers NPCs where you do special things and you get to be their best friend. And this guy is a mage. He's Conjurer Margos, and it is once a student of the Kirin Tor. Margos has turned to fishing to ease his stressful life. And he's in a secret location. You fish up an item in the underbelly, and that lets you teleport to a secret location. You can gain friendship through fishing up drowned mana for him. And he sells some interesting bobbers and lures, as well as the Stingray Pup pet and the Brine Deep Bottom Feeder mount, which both take a lot of drowned mana and also require you to be on some pretty good terms with him.
To be on first name basis for sure.
Yeah. And the mount's so cool. It's actually just like a neon blue fish.
Yeah.
And it's really funny.
Yeah, and it's got like a saddle on it.
Yeah, and of course the the stingray is kind of cute as well, and it's nice that there's other NPCs besides like Nat Pagal, and it was cool how in Mr. Pandaria they made the Anglers faction to have fishing fit in with the lore, and now because we're in Legion and Dalaran, we have a mage that's tired of being a mage that is doing fishing. So, fishing now is, fitting in with the lore. We have another cool fishing
So
character.
good. I love that we have a mage who's just fed up with spells and nonsense. Wants a simpler life. Where he fishes up shark mounts. So good. There are a bunch of new models as well. which we showed you guys a bunch of the new Order Hall sets last week, which they're all recolors of the Miss the Pandaria Challenge Mode sets, and we got some new ones this week, including the Death Knight, the Warlock, and the Rogue Order Hall sets, and then at the end of that, you're also going to see some new tabards coming in Legion. So here they are. This one is the Death Knight. This is the Rogue. The Rogue one looks sick.
It reminds me of the Season 1 PvP gear for Rogues as well. I always like that coloration. And yeah, Warlocks, they always look the best.
Yeah, Warlocks always look good, but I actually really, really like the Rogue one a lot. And some of these tabards are really cool. I like the top one that's blue, and I like the bottom one that's like very Kieran Tor, just black and purple.
Yeah, the tabards are also up in the Legion dressing room, so if you want to plan your outfit around those tabards, you now can. I also wanted to just highlight with the Order Hall sets that there's been some confusion that the Order Hall sets are related to challenge modes, maybe because like they look similar and they were added with some challenge mode type things in the alpha. But when we last checked, there are these vendors in the Order Hall, and they sell the different Order Hall pieces, but you have to do different things to unlock them. Like Legs requires honored status with some factions, but Helm, you have to do the questing in 2 of the Broken Isles leveling zones. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Tabards require Exalted with their relevant factions as usual.
Do you know if these Order Hall sets have the special animations on them like the challenge mode sets did in Mists of Pandaria?
So I'm not sure, but I'm leaning towards no, just because a lot of the effects were tied to the shoulders, and the shoulders are the thing that's changed the most in these sets.
Okay, because I know like some people are feeling like, oh, I worked really hard to get my challenge mode set, like this isn't fair, but like if it's missing that special animation, it's recolored, it's clearly different. I think it's kind of cool that that's another option for that gear. I'm always a fan of gear having several color variants, as long as the expansion itself has lots of gear variants. You know what I mean? But I like the idea of like, oh, the LFR set is pink, and the normal set is blue, and the green set is, you know what I mean? I just think that's
interesting
kind of a
story
cool thing.
about the Order Hall gear, the challenge mode gear. Like back in the day when we first data mined, years ago, Mr. Pandaria, each set came with 3 colors, and 2 of those colors were never used, and I mean, those colors are also different than what...
And these aren't those colors either?
Right. Well, I mean, like, they look different, but it's like, you know, they added all these colors years ago, and they just kind of, you know, nothing really happened to them.
Weird.
We also got some cute creatures.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
The first one that we got is I'm like stuck on the colors of those gears. Like
we can talk about that a little bit more.
No, I mean we don't really have to. I want them. Like let us recolor our gear. Like I understand that we can't do dyes like Diablo because the whole idea of like, you know, with the LFR gear looking one way and normal gear looking another way, it would kind of spoil all of that. But it would be cool if these really elite sets of gear offered you the option to pay money to select a different variant. And we know that technology is in game because you can do that with artifacts. So it's like, is there ever going to be some update to that? I don't know. That'd just be really cool.
I wonder if maybe there's meant to be like seasons of challenge modes, Mr. Pandaria, so each color would be for a different season, and that never happened. Because that kind of sounds like PvP having...
Or it could have been like bronze, silver, gold.
Maybe.
I don't know. It would have been cool.
One more thing before we move on.
Okay.
I really like the Nightfallen Tabard. I was just looking at it. Like, it's black, and it's got this weird purple thing in the center.
Yeah, that's the one I like too, that looks kind of like Kieran Tori. Oh, it's decided it no longer wants to show that slideshow, so I'm sorry.
You can see it on Wowhead.
It's broken now. But look at this baby Murloc.
Yeah. It's so cute.
Look at that little guy. He's like ugly. He's like that kind of ugly cute. You know, like he's got a face only a mother Murloc could love. Also, like, I think it's funny that he has no spikes on his head.
It's a baby Murloc. It's not threatening.
They're not all there yet. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Like, he's kind of cute. There's something weird about him being monochromatic.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's meant to be, like, a stuffed animal Murloc? Like...
No, he's probably just a BB.
Oh, I mean, like, if you zoom in, it looks right, but, like, from far away, the little things on the side of his eyes look like stitching. But close up, he's, actually a Murloc.
Yeah, he's the Murloc. He's very detailed. I mean, he looks good. But the thing is, like, most of the Murloc pets that we have are babies. I mean, they're not really like full-blown Murlocs, so it's weird. This is like an infant Murloc. This is like almost still a tadpole of a Murloc.
I still think it's kind of cute.
He's pretty cute. He would be cuter in a different color.
Yeah.
Like that same exact model, but like purple. Yeah. We also got the model for the Nightmare Moose, which is another version of a moose, which we have seen. If we're going to talk about recolors in Legion, I mean, if they're going to recolor anything, I'm perfectly okay with it being a moose, because we've seen, of course, we have the moose that drops out of Hellfire Citadel now, but we're going to be getting...
It's like evil twin moose.
Yeah, this is the darkest timeline of the moose. I mean, look at this guy. He's ferocious. I'm sorry I'm covering your face with a moose right now.
That's fine.
Kind of go back and forth between the two of us. But yeah, he is an angry-looking moose, like...
Yeah, it's like we had like Emerald Dream, Happy Moose, and now we've got Angry, Corrupted Moose.
Yeah, this is Corrupted Moose, all right. But he's cool. I definitely think he's like a Horde Moose.
I think he's an Emerald Nightmare Moose. But yeah, he can work for the Horde.
He can work for the Horde, sure.
Make it into the video, but we've actually, for all these models, we've made corresponding videos to them, and the Moose Mount video is up on Wowhead right now, so you can see the guy in the tuxedo running around on Moose.
The guy on the tuxedo, that infamous dude. So Nightmare Moose is very, very cool. There have been some other updates as well. Would you like to speak about them?
Sure. So we data mined a bunch of items as usual.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this. I'm sorry, I just saw the note that we're about to talk about. Oh my god.
You do.
Oh my god, guys, do you remember when like 3.5 months ago, Perk and friends data mined that there were capes that matched tier 19, and we sat here and we're like, do you think that was an aesthetic thing, or do you think they were actually part of a set? And we're like, no, can't be part of a set. They wouldn't do that. They did it, guys! Tier 19 now has 6 pieces up from 5. They match the tier set, and we talked about this months ago. And, like, aside from the fact that this is aesthetically awesome, this changes things. Like, it really does, because the set piece bonus is still only 4, correct?
Right. So this helps you, like, if you want to get a legendary,
yes.
and it's one of those items that's part of a slot, like, you don't have all this angst about, like, using your fortress
yes, this is enormous, because you're going to be able to have a 4-piece set bonus with more choices. It's going to give you, you're going to get that 4-piece set bonus, and you're going to be able to, you know, make better decisions about, like, your best in slot gear, because I'm currently struggling about this. Like, there are only 5 pieces in the set right now, and one of the pieces is off of Manaroth, and then one of them is off of another later end boss, Zool. So we've killed Zool like 3 times now, but the chest hasn't dropped, or not the chest, he drops what, gloves? Boots? Whatever. The Zool tier piece didn't drop for me. And then we haven't killed Manaroth yet. So I'm still like in this weird position where I don't have a good option for... I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
TLDR, this is really, really cool. This is cool for aesthetic purposes. This is cool for, like, theory crafting and best in slot purposes. This is cool considering the new legendaries that are coming into the game. I approve of this. I'm super excited. When I saw this in the notes, look, there was caps lock.
Yeah.
I used caps lock.
Yes, I saw that.
Because we talked about this months ago, and it was very much dismissed as oh no, they would never make capes part of a set. They wouldn't do that. They did it. They did it.
And I feel like it's a lot better keeping it at the 4-piece bonus versus 6, because then with 6 you're like, I can't.
Then you have no choices.
Right. But yeah, I also think that, you know, between all the artifact customization and legendaries and all the loot variation, the eye level variation, like they're really trying to move away from this concept of best in slot where it's like, hey, like, you can still get your 4-piece bonus and have, like, tons of options, but still get your core, you know, gameplay or set bonus out of it.
Well, it's going to be better for guilds. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I just was saying that, like, you can get your core, like, suppose your 4-piece is, like, transformative. Like, you can get that, but then say, well, like, I'm going to add my own spin because I'll pick this legendary that I really want, and that won't conflict with having to get my 4-piece, which I think is cool.
From, like, a rating standpoint, too, this is going to be so much better because currently my entire guild is waiting for the chest off of Manaroth so that we can make those choices and, you know, get rid of shoulders or get rid of boots and put these better boots on, whereas less people are going to be so incredibly reliant on individual pieces. You're going to have a lot more options when you're going through and you're progressing and you're getting gear. So I'm
That
excited.
also reminds me of the next point, which kind of is related, how they updated the Legion Dungeon Journal, which with which bosses drop the tier loot, and I just opened it up because I wanted to see like if it was staggered or at the end. And it's pretty well staggered throughout the instance with who drops tier stuff. A lot of these names, if you're not playing the alpha, they might not mean a lot, but like the third boss Trilliax drops the cape, Tichondrius drops shoulders, Croesus drops robe, Star-Lord Atreus has gloves, Grand Magitrix Elisande has head, and Gul'dan as the final boss. His loot just says all PH, except some of it has the tier legs. So yeah, I guess some people were like, oh, like why does the final boss have legs? Like not everyone shows legs, but yeah, that's the current setup right now of who drops what tier. So like you were mentioning, like you don't want to feel stuck that you need your tier from the last few bosses, but you can definitely get your 4-piece before you're waiting for that second to last boss, like in a mana slot.
Well, and you'll still have choices in that period of time. I really like it. I'm a big fan. Also, thank you so much to Arctara for subscribing. We appreciate that. Yay. That means we are officially 1 subscriber away from getting 2 new emotes. And
new emotes.
Perk and I talked about the emotes at length. It's pretty great. We're going to have emotes of us, one of me and one of Perk. Perk's is going to be like happy. So like when something exciting happens and you're sub to us, you can use Perk's like excited yay face. And then my face is the rage face. So when something grumpy happens, you can totally use my face to express yourself. And then, of course, we'll still have Pepe and the Rocket. So I'm pretty sure that Fabelina's doing those for us.
Yeah, you were talking to her, and she seemed excited about that. So, yeah, we just need to get that subscription.
We only need one. We only need one, so that's very exciting. Oh, my God, and there's the next one. Is that Kasuki?
I think, wait, you can see the screen better than me.
It says viciousness with a 3
that's
in
her.
it. That's her. Excellent. Well, soon, TM, new emotes. We're working on it. Well, all of these things that we're talking about are so exciting currently. Sub hype, emotes hype, 6-piece set bonus hype. Well, not set bonus, 6 tier pieces for a 4-piece set bonus hype. What else is happening? You talked about bosses adding the bosses that drop tier are now in the dungeon journal. Oh, I think I have a picture of this.
Okay.
If I don't, hold on. I can get it. Hold on. Media file. I got this. I saved this.
Yay.
So this is super cool. The map in Legion has been updated to show you where dungeon entrances are.
Yes, they are blue, and the raid versions are green. It's very cool. Like you cannot this helps you find the instance. You have to like mouse over and hope something pops up.
I mean, it hasn't been as big of an issue in newer expansions, but like one that always got me was, what was the one that was in Wrath of the Lich King it was a bug instance, a New Barak maybe?
Yeah, Azul Narub, like the caves underneath.
Oh my God.
I feel that, like, I think, why am I blanking? Gorgrond, how you're like, oh, there's all those instances towards the north, and you're like, okay, but like, which part of this, artistic rendering of an orc tower are they actually in?
Or even Spires of Iraq. I fly around that tower like 10 times, always, every single time for the Skyreach dungeon.
Yep.
Doing a good job. So I'm actually fairly excited about this change, and I hope they go back and do old world stuff too. Also, thank you so much, Truly, too, for subscribing. It's 3 in a row. That's some sort of combo.
Yay. Pepe is happy.
Yay. So, yeah, I'm super excited about this quality of life change because it just seems like one of those silly things that's needed.
Yeah, like I'm sure it didn't take a ton of time to add, but it's like, oh wow, this makes things so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
This next one isn't very... doesn't really affect anything, but because it is the alpha, they keep changing zones around, and they've added some more greenery to Dalaran, so it looks a bit cozier. Nothing too fancy to report there. It looks nicer.
Yeah.
This next thing is sad.
I'm sad about this.
Yes.
I'm sad about this. So last week we had this huge celebration because there were 8 Pepes in Suramar, and we were talking about how that pretty much confirmed that Pepe was a breed, not a name. And Pepe has been removed from Suramar, all 8 of him.
I know. That was very sad.
I don't know why. Like, everybody was super excited about it.
So, the creator of Pepe was tweeting, and at one point he said that Pepe was an NPC that came from the Twisting Nether, and Pepe is the name of Pepe, not the name of a breed.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But like, I feel that Pepe could have like cloned himself or done some
Well,
mirror
there
imaging
still
magic,
could
'cause,
be
like,
other. Okay, so maybe
yeah.
maybe Pepe is not the name of his breed, but I would still think, is
Yeah,
he an
the orange
asexual being?
I know.
Like,
Like,
how did he produce?
Yeah. Wouldn't he want to like hang out with other birds that look like him, that
Like-
understand him?
Like, that understand him, that knows his struggles. So, anyways, we're back down to, I mean, there's still multiple Pepes in the world, but you never see two Pepes in a room at the same time.
There used to be two Pepes in the Rogue Order Hall. But they removed one of them. So there used to be the Ninja Pepe in the rafters.
Yeah.
And then there was plain Pepe sitting on Jordan Power's gnome Rogue head. And they kind of fused them together where there's no Pepe overlooking the gold vault. But the one on his head has the ninja disguise. So
No, I'm sad. I don't like that. Stop taking Pepes out of the game.
I know. I feel like when I do the data mining updates, I need to do like a fake section being like spell updates, like item updates, and being like Pepe updates.
Yes. Those are
yeah.
important updates.
I kind of like the idea that he was a ninja looking down because I like the idea that Pepe, we didn't care about our salvage crates, so Pepe took all the salvage crates and he opened them and made all this gold, and now he's just perched above staring down at all of his gold.
At all of his earnings, all of his bounties.
Yep. And I also like the idea that maybe Pepe came from Suramar, because I like the idea that my night elf could, like, I don't know, feed the Pepes as she was growing up.
No, I agree.
And maybe like, Pepe was the adventuresome one, and he escaped from that bubble, and he missed his friends, and it would be like a touching reunion, and he was exploring the world trying to find a way back to his friends. But I guess, Pepe, you are one of a kind, and I guess we're breaking canon right now. If I had two Pepes and you have a Pepe, like, there are three Pepes. So.
There are three Pepes. I don't know. I just think it's silly because everybody was really excited about it, so I don't know really why remove it. And I specifically said I love the idea of all these, like, Pepe-esque birds, which, I mean, you can call them whatever you want. Obviously, one of them's name is Pepe, but, like, I liked the idea of all these Pepe-esque birds kind of just doing regular bird things and not being forced to perch upon someone's head or being summoned with a whistle.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Pepes want a day off. See, there I'm going in. I'm like, the Pepes. It's Pepe. Okay.
I know.
Maybe the orange birds want to relax and welcome Pepe so Pepe can have a day off as well.
Yeah. Maybe the blue-beaked buddies. I don't know. Like, I'm just sad. I don't see any reason to make that change.
Yeah, I don't think Pepes need to be reduced.
Personally. What else happened?
More serious news. We're at the class tuning stage for spells. Big awkward transition from Pepe to spells. But I mean, nothing too much to say. Like, they're not really in like the mechanics changing stage right now. It's more a focus on numbers. But artifacts are still a bit untuned. So if you're like watching streams, like, do keep in mind that some classes are like very OP or underpowered because their artifacts are still not as tuned as the basic class spells right now.
I mean, that's a complex thing anyways, because just because they say, oh, we've started tuning, like, they have until August. They will be literally tuning until August, and then you know what'll happen? They'll continue to tune things, like, just such is World of Warcraft, and that goes for actual class abilities, artifact weapons, legendaries haven't even been, then now they're available for testing.
Yep.
Nothing is balanced. Nothing is even close to balance, so don't be alarmed. There is, if you want to learn more about this, on May 10th, there is a developer chat with Ian Hazakostas, who is Watcher Dev, and Jesse Cox. So I'm sure that should be informational and entertaining. Something about those two personalities together sort of, like, cracks me up, because I feel like Ian is always so serious and, like, very straightforward in information and, like... And Jesse is a maniac. Like, he's so funny. So I can't imagine that's going to be good. I feel like that's going to be worth a watch. So be sure to tune into that. I won't be here.
Pacific for that.
I'll be on a friggin' plane.
I'm also curious, like, just speculating, they're like, we want a status update on what our next priorities are for Legion development. And it's like, is this beta? Like, will they give us more of a timeline?
Yeah.
Because, like, we've been getting, like, updates and design notes and infographics.
Yeah.
Like, what could they mean by a status update that we haven't been getting from all of the status.
It's got to be beta. It's got to be beta, and maybe pre-patch information.
Yep, maybe.
That would be good. I would like that. So I think we covered everything alpha, maybe soon beta related. So to talk a little bit about live servers, if you did not know, this week is Children's Week. Yay!
Yay! Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, not a huge amount of updates this year. There is a new yellow balloon toy that you can get, which it's an easy one to get. So if you're working towards that 300 achievement in Legion to get the mount, definitely worth going and picking that up. There are 10 different pets to collect that you can see on your screen right now. You can only get 3 per character per year, but like with all pets, they are account wide. So I think you can sell them too.
Let me look.
I think that you can cage them. Like, I don't think you can sell them from the vendor, but I think you can cage them. Maybe you can't. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you can sell a Speedy.
Whiskers the rat. Yes, he is cageable.
He is cageable. So yeah, so if you've already done them, might be worth doing them again and then hanging on to them for a couple months and selling them, because if you sell them right now, they won't be worth that much. But if you wait a couple months, they'll be worth some money. So might be worth doing. I don't really know. The School of Hard Knocks is, of course, the PvP achievement that everybody hates so much. But other than that, it's not terrible to get the, I believe it's matron or patron. If you are working on that. What a long, strange trip it's been. And this actually ends May 9th. We're a little late to this party to announce it. We probably should have said something that was coming up last week. Maybe we did.
I mean, I think we just mentioned it briefly. There wasn't, like, a ton of things to say about it, though. One reminder, Veteran Nanny, you can buy the pets on the AH to collect them, but they won't give you credit towards Veteran Nanny. So you need to do the 3 battle pets on one character via questing, so that requires 3 years of Children's Week, and that's also not needed for the meta achievement, so you can get your title without that.
I don't think I have that one. Pretty much once I got my Violet Proto Drake, I stopped.
Also, there's a reward from last year where if you have all the pets, you can get a pet care package, which can contain a flawless battle stone or cute costumes like a pink bow or a pet biscuit. So if you really don't like pets, you can do that. And just something I'm looking at with the guide, we added these cool little charts to Wowhead guides, and we're showing like what's the most popular pet with Wowhead users and the least popular pet. So apparently Speedy is the most popular pet among Wowhead users, and Legs is the least most popular pet.
Really? I think Legs is my favorite one. If you guys don't know, Speedy is the turtle, Legs is the water strider guy. I'm very surprised about that, though. I would have thought, because Legs isn't one of the newest new ones, right? The original ones were Speedy and the rat and the pig, right? Whiskers.
Yeah, so Speedy and Mr. Wiggles are like 1 and 2. And then it's the Oracle Hatchling, Willy, Egbert. I guess Egbert's cuter than Legs.
I don't think Egbert's is cuter than Legs. I think Legs is so cool looking. Like, if you play, like, I don't know, like any sort of, like a shaman. Like, if you play something that, like, does watery or elemental stuff, I think he looks kind of cool with magic people, too. I think he's a cool pet. I
mean, like, still 33% of users with profiles have him, so that's still a lot of people.
Yeah, that's still a lot of people. Well, I mean, the event's been around for years. I think I said this last year when we talked about Children's Week, but Mr. Wiggles was the first pet I ever saw in WoW, and I, like, had a minor, like, freak out about it. What is that pig, and where did you get it? She's like, oh, it's a pet. It's from Children's Week. And I'm like, I need it. That was my very first time I ever saw a pet in WoW, and and of course it was one I couldn't get at the time, and I thought it was so cool, and it kind of, every time I see him or somebody using him in game, I get like a little excited because I remember that. And I was like leveling still, I was only like level like 40, so that was a very exciting thing for me almost 10 years ago. Also in town right now is the Dark Moon Fair, which, if you aren't familiar, there are 19 pets, 16 toys, and 2 mounts that you can collect from the Dark Moon Fair. This is also a great way if you are doing reps to get buffs to increase your rep. You can use the carousel or the top hat, which does work on Draenor Pathfinder. The Dark Moon Fair does end May 8th. Also, if you're is Scribe, you can turn in your decks to sell as trinkets on the auction house.
You want to collect the toys because in Legion,
I gotta go
ago we found we found an achievement which it's like 300 toys gets you a mount.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to go get that mount, and it's like a recolored engineering shredder.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really got to go get Hogger. I like didn't go get him when he got put in, and then I just keep forgetting, and every time I remember it's not the Dark Moon Fair. I should do that like after this.
Yeah, you should do it now, especially because like, you know, like less people are playing in between expansions, so you won't have as many people like smashing gnolls that you want.
Isn't that phased though?
I think when I did it a while back, I think there was other people running around, but it's actually pretty easy.
I thought it was phased because you got kicked out of the area if you didn't have a ticket. But I could be wrong. I'm also on a very low population server, so
yeah. Anyway,
it might feel phased when it's not. Also, Burning Crusade time walking is going on right now, which, in my opinion, of all the time walkings, it's the best one. Although I'm not as big of a fan of time walking as I wish I was.
Okay, why is that? I mean, I
okay.
That sounded accusatory.
No. I think the idea of time walking is really good, but this is another one of those situations where I don't feel like the rewards are as good as the effort invested.
I can see that.
But I mean, part of it, I guess, is that one of my guildies got the Black Drake mount right off the bat, and I was really jealous about that. And I also think that the mounts that you do get are very, very expensive.
Yeah, I feel like there could be more in between stuff, so it's not like spend 500 on, you know, one toy or 5,000. It would be nice to have like things that you could chase at like 2,000 or 3,000.
Yeah, I mean, what's cool about it, the reason I like the Burning Crusade one the best is because I think Burning Crusade has the best transmog. Like, of all of the time periods in World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade had awesome transmog. Lots of awesome transmog. And I think a lot of the instances were really cool, so I like that. Plus, out of Burning Crusade, if you haven't gotten it yet, you can get the White Hawk Strider out of Magister's Terrace.
Yeah.
That also drops
Phoenix,
the pet.
actually. So cute.
So that kind of stuff is really, really cool, but I feel like I would rather have a mythic difficulty of... Like, I would like it if... I feel like I don't understand where the difficulty is tuned. They're definitely more difficult than normal dungeons. Not quite as hard as heroic dungeons. But then because of the scaling, sometimes if you get in a specific type of composition of group, they're actually very difficult because people don't have skills.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just... Even if your gear doesn't really matter, in theory, the fact that people don't have, like, level 100 talents is frustrating, and... that stuff doesn't get scaled down. So part of me wishes they maybe had a version of time walking that was, you know, that you could get like mythic stuff out of. But the only time walking I dislike is Lich King, and that's because there's those two instances that aren't tuned properly. They don't scale right. But
so if people don't know for some reason what time walking is, there are 6 Burning Crusade instances you can get for time warp badges. Magister's Terrace, Arcatraz, Black Morass, Manitomb, Shattered Halls, and Slave Pens. All bosses can drop the Reigns of the Infinite Time Reaver. Yep. You can do 5 dungeons to get an Iron Fleet chest with Hellfire Citadel loot. And you can spend your Time Warp badges on the Ever-Shifting Mirror, the Mark of the Ash Tongue, Reigns of the Eclipsed Dragonhawk, and some other interesting flavor things like rep tokens or... a bag of fishing treasures that can contain a crocodile or like cooking recipes. And Ever-Shifting Mirror is interesting because it only costs 500 tokens, and it's going to be a toy in Legion.
Okay, but what's super cool about this, this is an underrated item. I did the time walking to get the Ever-Shifting Mirror, because the Ever-Shifting Mirror, it transports you between a spot in Warlords of Draenor to a spot in Burning Crusade and vice versa, but it's usable in combat. So if you do something stupid and get yourself in a real conundrum, you can pop that and it will take you to Burning Crusade, and it's just like a get out of jail free card if you do something really dumb in like the pit in Gorgron. Who does that? I don't know. Not me. What? I've used it a couple times to get myself out of some sticky situations. It's actually a very, very cool item. Aside from the actual lore things that make it interesting on a visual level, it's really cool that you can use it to get out of bad stuff.
Back when it was added, I tracked down all the portal locations and I mapped them out so you could see a comparison. like the Alliance. There's one by the Alliance garrison, and in Draenor, but then in Outland, it actually is like the head of Legion headquarters.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, this looks totally different.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see, like, what changed. What's different, like, Gruul's Lair is Blackrock Foundry. Throne of the Elements is the same with some updates. Shatrith is basically, Shatrith is actually, is pretty different, but the city is still there.
Yeah.
Twin Spire Ruins is in Zangarmarsh versus the Zangar Sea. Warden's Cave, which is all Fel versus Path of Light. So yeah, it's really fun to compare. If you just want to like learn more about the area, you can just sort of wander around and be like, why is this changed?
Yeah, no, that's a really cool item. The mount is really nice that's off of it too. I'm not really like, the rewards aren't bad. It's just like some of the dungeons, if you are in a guild group, it's fine. Like, I will do them in a guild group, no problem. And they're worth it, especially considering that when you're doing the weekly quest, you get Valor and you get, you know what I mean? That makes it worthwhile. But man, oh man, doing those in like a random group can be very painful. Very painful. some real derpy people out in LFR land. But, so I saw you posted about this morning, but yesterday was Activision Blizzard's Q1 investor call, which I've always listened to in the past, and I've never really like covered it in a video, and I kind of don't know why, because it's very interesting. So if you want a whole rundown on that, I did do a video of it. It's posted on Wowhead and on my channel. But the investor call was super interesting. People used to be kind of obsessed with this because that was when they released World of Warcraft sub numbers, which they haven't done, I think, in 2 calls. I think this is like the 3rd one that they haven't done.
They decided to stop doing that because people would like obsess over the percentage, and like, like the call is meant for people doing business, not us.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's important to keep in mind. I had a couple comments on my videos that were like, they don't release the sub numbers for very negative reasons, and I think the more important thing is that sub numbers aren't particularly relevant to investors. But all investors care about is that the company as a whole is making more money than they were making previously. That's all they care about, and sub numbers can have a negative connotation with them if they are declining or even stagnating. But
even if they went up and people spent less money per item, that would be bad versus good.
Yeah, and especially now that you have like the token, that gets really sticky too, because the token counts as a subscription, but it actually costs $5 more. So that means that every 3 tokens is actually equal to 4 subscriptions, but that's not how it was numerically calculated.
Or what happens if you aren't playing WoW because you're busy with kids, but you like buy something very expensive from the gear store because you really like the game, and like that doesn't count, but that's like 10 subscriptions.
Yeah, so it's like a really sticky situation, and I think that's an important thing that people need to keep in mind. But overall, the call was like very positive. If you had heard some of the earlier ones, like when Warlords of Draenor, like I think it was like the Q1 call or the Q2 call last year, brutal. Brutal. Anger, rage, salt everywhere. But this was like a super upbeat call. Of course, Activision Blizzard acquired King in February for $5.8 billion, which King is the company that makes Candy Crush. They are absolutely dominating the mobile game, casual game market, which sounds like, LOL, but like Candy Crush is a 4-year-old mobile game that is free to play, and it was the 3rd highest grossing game last year, or the last quarter game out of all games. A 4-year-old free to play mobile game, 3rd highest grossing game, which is absolutely nuts to me. So Blizzard is like, Activision Blizzard is obviously just so proud of that acquisition. That was brought up a lot because they're going to make a lot of money off of that. Like,
King and they're diversifying their player base too.
Oh yeah, King is an absolute cash cow. And what made me excited about this is that something that we've talked about in the past, and I should have brought this up in my video and I forgot, but we have talked about in the past, like how cool would it be to, be able to do your missions on your phone, or be able to pet battle on your phone, or little pieces and parts of the game being brought into the mobile market. And when Hearthstone is brought in the mobile market, that was exciting. And of course we have mobile guild chat and the mobile armory, but the more time, the closer that we get into that genre, the more variety we're going to have as WoW players being able to interact with our game. And like, I know for a fact, like I collect pets in WoW, but I don't pet battle all that often, but I would if it was on my phone. Like, I'm positive that would be, like, my go-to mobile thing if it was on my phone. So I'm excited about it for that reason. And then, in general, the call had just a very upbeat attitude. Before they acquired King, they actually acquired MLG, so they're very excited about esports in general because Call of Duty is very popular. I know they recently, which is kind of awkward, but they recently hosted a CSGO tournament, which Valve owns. Which is sort of strange with the whole like Blizzard Valve history, but they've been doing really, really well in the esports world, and they said that the Heroes of the Dorm viewership was up 17% from the first year that they did it, and they just talked about a lot of things that were coming up as far as Overwatch, and they talked about Hearthstone a lot because Hearthstone has had...
I like this.
Yeah.
I like hearing how they were like... It's not just like, oh, like 50 million people play, which is cool, but they're talking about a record number of daily active users and hours per daily active user. Which is like I think like those stats are cool because like, running Wowhead, like you want to make sure that people, are spending, minutes more on the site and that the same people come back every day to build loyalty. So like, I think those numbers have more, more meaning than just like, oh, here's a faceless number of, millions of people.
Yeah.
Do they play once a month or a week or once a day? We don't know. So I like hearing the daily stats more.
Yeah, one of the things that I thought was really interesting, too, was that Mike Morhaime refused to comment on player spending trends in Hearthstone, and I kind of talked about it a bit in my video about why he would do that. Like, why wouldn't they talk about that? And I think what it comes down to is that no matter what number they say, if it's a high number, that'll make investors happy, right? But players are going to be pissed. New players are going to be like, well, I can't afford that, and players who have spent a lot of money...
Hearthstone is really several $100s to play.
Yeah, and then people who have spent a lot of money are going to be like, oh my god, I don't even have every card. This is ridiculous. But then if they come out with a really low number, like, yeah, maybe that would make players happy, but also investors are not going to be happy. So that you've got a weird situation there. Not to mention, because it's a free-to-play game, there are probably a good portion of the audience that spends no money, like $0. And then you've also got, industry whales that spend just... a Panzer in League of Legends amount of money in Hearthstone. So, I mean, it's really hard to actually get an accurate number for that. And no matter what that number is, there's going to be an enormous group of important people that are not going to be happy. Because investors, that's your money. That's important. You have to keep those people happy. But players, also your money, important to keep them happy. So I feel like no matter what number they released, it would just be a not good. It would not be a good time, man. So that was really interesting. And I also liked one of the questions that the reporters, they had like a 10-minute block of reporter questions, was, do you think that the Overwatch universe could become the next Marvel universe? I'm not making this up. That was the question that was asked. And Mike Morhaime was so funny because he was like taken aback by that question. Like, whoa, man, like I wasn't ready for that. But, it is really interesting to think about because they have comics, which have all the comics have been super well received so far. All of the animations have been like rave reviews. People are, already saying movie. Anybody who spends any time on the website and reads the lore is very captivated by the lore. The world itself is beautiful. All these characters have these very rich backstories. And Mike Morhaime's response to this is like, is there that potential? Like, maybe, but at the end of the day, we made Overwatch for esports. And I think the fact that when... given such a flattering, that was like a flattering question. There was an intent to that question. When given this really like, oh, this could be such a cash cow and you could make so much money.
I mean, the game isn't even out yet.
Side of the game. Like, yeah. And for him to turn around and be like, no, this is for esports. That's what we're doing. That's what Blizzard does. Like, this is... I felt like that was a really, really, like, respectable response to that. Instead of running on the, we're going to make so much money.
Yeah, promise the sky.
F you, Stanley. You know what I mean? Like, no, instead he went very towards, that would be great. Who knows? It's possible. But, like, we really want this to be an esport. This game was designed around the idea of it being a competitive esport. And I really thought that was a cool answer. I did a whole in-depth video on this. If you're interested and you want to watch it, it's on my YouTube channel. The investor call, I believe, is still available. I would just Google that. Just Google it.
Yeah, I think it's on the investors side of the Activision site, and the text part is on Business Wire.
Yeah, it's free. That like a lot of people were like, oh, copyright or NDA, but like no, that's all public information.
One thing I want to bring up before we move on is that they also did say They talked about Legion coming, and they also talked about how, the film is, it's meant to be helping with promotion for the game. So they, finally went out and said that, which I
Yeah.
think you noted in your video as well. It's not just like, oh, let's make a movie for fun. It's like,
Well, and they said,
people-
I mean, the movie is 10 years in the making, and I think that's
yeah,
important for everybody to remember. Is this was before WoW even peaked. This movie was something that was happening, and so we've seen the whole progression of how this played out. So I don't think, especially in seeing how marketing is working and who is getting what type of press, it's very clearly an intent to be a blockbuster movie, to be a Batman type movie or a Star Wars, or it's intended to be able to very much stand on its own 2 feet. But I think it is a relevant point to investors that, like, not only is this movie that we put $100 million into capable of making that back 3, 4, 5, 10-fold, but this is also an excellent promotional tool for our game. We have the expansion coming out, 2 months later. We have, all these, we're going to talk about in a minute, but there's all these promotions going on with the tickets, and this is a great way to get back old players who are going to see the movie and feel that nostalgia. This is a great way to get new players. This is also a great way for all the people who have all these years been telling their friends, you got to try this, you got to try this, you got to try this. Right. They see this movie, and maybe they're a little more willing to try it. So it's kind of something a lot of people have said for a long time, is like, oh, this is going to be really great for the game, but it's nice to hear the admission of, yes, this is an awesome marketing opportunity for us.
With that, we should transition into the movie news.
Yes. So French and Serbian websites have already confirmed promotional deals for the movie. We showed these last week, and this is the Alliance version. There's also a Horde version you're going to see coming up. But these are 4 in-game transmog items that are inspired by the film. Players are also going to be getting a copy of World of Warcraft, which includes every expansion through Warlords of Draenor, so essentially the game for free, as well as a month of game time if you pre-order Legion with all of this stuff. So kind of a crazy deal, and we haven't had this confirmed for the US, but it's probably going to be here. It's more than likely.
The build from yesterday, it put these items in the data, but they were encrypted, so that means that we can't display them on the site. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, you have to take a word for it. Like, they are there. We did look at them and we're like, oh, why is there this shield and this thing called Gul'dan that's marked as, encrypted? But yeah, they are there. So, they're in the game. And yeah, there's gonna be so many new players.
Yeah, and I'm still very curious as to how they're gonna handle this. I'm really hoping it's not like a select theaters thing, because I have like a Cinemark theater near me. I don't have an AMC theater near me, so like I don't want to have to like buy tickets online for a movie I'm not going to see to get a code. I mean, I'll do it. I will do it, but I don't want to have to do that. But I'm hoping it's like a popcorn bucket with a code on the bottom or something, because I want the bucket. I mean, let's be honest. But I think that's really, really, really awesome that they're doing that type of promotion, because I mean, why
I like that there's something for new players, like, oh, you get the free copy of the game, but then for the, hard, like, people like us that we don't need a copy of the game, it's like, oh, there's transmogs, and, like, we can appreciate that.
Well, and also, like, we already pre-ordered Legion, so we're going to get a free month of game time and 4 transmogs. Like, that's like, worth the ticket. Even if you go see an IMAX movie, it's only, like, I want to say $14.
Those helms from the Blizzard Gear shop, like, each one is the cost of a ticket, and now you're getting weapons.
Yeah, it's super, super cool, and you get all 4 of them. So the person in chat, we don't exactly know how you're going to get those in the US. I know on French and Serbian websites, it is for pre-ordering movie tickets. And then the code will be, I guess, given to you at the theater, maybe? I'm not sure. But not entirely positive how much it's going to be in the US or how that'll work in other countries, or, I mean, if it will work in other countries, even though it's very unlikely that a promotion that huge would be limited to, like, Serbia.
Yeah.
No offense to Serbia.
Sorry, Serbia.
I mean, I think they would go for where their big player bases are. So regardless, it's really cool, and I'm really, really excited to see, that potential influx of subscribers. And, it's always exciting when you log on and you see a lot of people on, and especially in Legion when we're going to have a main city that's a 2-faction main city. Like, that was always what was so cool about Dalaran, is no matter what point of the expansion you were in, no matter what time of day it was, Dalaran was pretty much always bustling because you had both factions, and that's where everybody was. And I mean, of course we'll have order halls, but there's a lot of reasons to be in Dalaran. There's a few, order halls that are in and around Dalaran, so I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited.
This part is exciting.
Yay, Pop!
Show stuff.
Yay!
I'm going to see if I can move my screen a little bit so they aren't going to be stripy. Oh, yeah. 1 second. Okay. Yep, that works. And then I can pull this over, and then when I do a close-up, they will be fine.
So I display mine out of the box anyways, so I'm opening them.
Okay.
You don't have to open yours.
Move Pepe off of the box.
But this is Duratan.
Let's see.
And he's got, like, really detailed hair. It's in braids. He's got his axe. I don't know. I think Funko Pops are good quality, so, like, I'm okay with this. And as far as the paint job on this for a Funko, it's pretty good. I've seen some bad paint on Funkos before.
So I was going to say that I liked Garona, but she has, like, a plastic blob on her face. Anyway.
Is it, like, a mistake?
I think so. I mean, like, look at the side of her nose.
Oh, yeah. It looks like you got it. Did you get them from Amazon? Amazon will send you another one.
I got them from GameStop.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't.
I'll try.
I can't talk for GameStop. My Garona does not have some sort of weird scar on her. She's in really good shape.
She's got cool braids. She has her cool little headpiece. She has a sword.
Yep, she's in her, like, alliance armor. Does she
have
a stand? Oh, my God. If you guys collect Pops, she comes with a stand. She comes with a stand. Thank God. So the older Pops, right, they would have these types of bodies and didn't come with stands, and they just don't stand up. It's awful. So if you display them out of box, you're just completely tough for you, I guess.
Which one did you show?
I'm going for Orgrim. Oh, okay. Weird. We're, like, in perfect order. That's who's in your head. No, in your hand. I haven't shown him yet. So this is Orgrim.
Yep.
Rob Kaczynski plays him in the movie. He's bald. He's got Doomhammer. He's got... His gear is really detailed. He's also got what looks like some scars on his back. I'm not sure if my webcam will pick that up. But he looks like he got axed or wolfed in the back. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, also
he's got
on
some
the front
scars
of his
on his chest, too. He's all scarry. He's been through some stuff. He's also got some sort of discoloration scar on his head, too. I wonder how much of that will actually be incorporated into the story of the movie. But he looks awesome.
There was a 2-set I saw on Amazon of Duratan and Orgrim, and some people were tweeting me about that as well.
Is it the same, though? Are they the same, or are they a variant?
I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, they look like the picture is not very good quality.
Oh.
Okay. I have Kingling.
Oh my God, I also have Kingling. What are the chances that we opened all of these in the exact same order?
That is pretty funny.
I also have Kingling. Whoa, my Kingling is different than yours.
Oh, wait. I know that this is Lothar.
Yeah, okay, you have Lothar. Yeah, okay. Well, the difference here is that Kingling has royal armor. He's also got some sort of swoopy side bang. His beard is a little more kept. He has different color armor. But that is Kingling.
And this is Lothar. And here is the box. Yeah, let me just compare the boxes.
And
I guess Garona has the Alliance box. So there's an Alliance box and there's a Horde box.
I wonder if there's a variant of Garona where she is... I feel like I've talked about this 1,000 times. There's usually 6 with a variant. I wonder if there's a variant of Garona where she's in her slave outfit.
And there's also been some variations of her where she, like in the Lothar video, which we'll talk about very soon, and she has this cape on and like her regal dress. And then in the movie promotion pictures, like she's holding the sword, but she's in more of a tattered outfit, so it's not like the slave dress, but it's not her, full formal gear.
Yeah, like her lion's gear either.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just get all these.
Are you opening it?
I'm done.
Okay.
I
guess
I've skipped ahead of you. You snooze, you lose,
fine.
Perk.
Yeah, I don't need to open. I mean, we don't need to be redone for that. Oh, Duratan has these cute little things on his teeth. I just noticed that.
Yes, he does. He has like the tooth jewelry.
Yep. So
He does. They're very detailed. They're decent paint for Funkos too. Sometimes Funkos paints aren't great. I'm sorry that your Garona has a defect.
I know. Maybe I can get a new one or modify it because like I do really like her. I mean, I like.
She's the best. I'm sure if you tell them that she was like she arrived defective, that they'll handle that for you.
Yep.
There we go.
She's pretty cute though.
They're all hanging out behind me now.
So these are also they are on sale at the Blizzard Gear Shop now, as well as the Dorbs line, which has the same 5 characters. And there will be mystery minis on sale later.
Which is a lot of characters.
Yeah,
and those are in the style of. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, there's Garona. She has her alternate outfit. Lady Taria is there. There's like 12 total. So there is much more than just these 5 characters.
Yeah. The if you guys collected any of the Heroes of the Storm mystery minis, they are very similar art style to those. So they're pretty cool. You want to talk a little bit about the novel, and then we'll show the video.
Sure. So, also this week, the official novelization on Durotan released. This is the official prequel, and it's currently $5.02 on Amazon. That's a discount of like 20% from the market price. And a summary of that is in the world of Draenor, the strong and fiercely independent Frostwolf clan are faced with increasingly harsh winters and thinning herds. One Gul'dan, a mysterious outsider, arrives in Frostfire Ridge offering word of new hunting lands. Durotan, the clan's chieftain, must make an impossible decision, abandon the territory, pride, and traditions of his people, or lead them into the unknown.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. So you may know some of this like lore from, following along with the video games, but because the movie is in a different universe and some things are simplified, like there's not a billion different orc clans like Durotan and Doomhammer are part of the same clan, you might just want to get the novel to fully understand the background for the movie. And
I kind of think they're still in different clans.
I thought when they did the character posters for Doomhammer, they were like, he is loyal and follows his chieftain Durotan. I'm gonna look this up. Yeah,
that's possible. I interviewed Toby Kebbell like 2 years ago, and one of the questions I asked him is if the fact that Durotan and Ogrim were the first 2 orcs from different clans to ever have bonded, if that really like affected the character for him as an actor. And he said no, because he was like the leader of his clan, so like anyone would fall beneath him. But like maybe that's because he wasn't allowed to give that information out.
Yeah, so the movie, the little blurb thingy, I mean, maybe marketing to this and they are different than the actors, but it's Ogrim the Defiant, wielder of the mighty Doomhammer. Ogrim is fiercely loyal to his chieftain Durotan.
Oh, well.
So
there you have it.
Durotan is chieftain of the Frostwolf clan. Durotan will do whatever it takes to find a home for his people. So,
interesting.
Maybe that got simplified.
It's so hard with like marketing not seeming to really be speaking with the actual people directing the movie, so who knows. But the lore has obviously been modified to fit your screen. Like, for instance, in the movie, Garona is half human, not half Draenei. Right. So things are obviously going to be a little different. So if you're interested, it'd be a good time to pick up that book because you'll have a better idea of what's going on. Also, Blizzard released some character videos this week. I have clips them all together. I kind of think I didn't get... Okay, so I didn't get the Durotan one, I think. I think I have Lothar, Garona, and Khadgar.
I feel like maybe we talked about Durotan before and there wasn't a ton of new material in that one, so it's okay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but here's the 3.
This war is only beginning.
You don't look that different to us. How'd you survive?
Broken bones heal stronger. Mine are very strong.
sensed something. Dark forces. Saving the world was not a one-man job.
Dark forces are upon us.
We need you. There is no other man I would trust.
I'll protect the kingdom.
Okay, so confession time. I didn't watch that last one before just now. Is that the first time we've seen a human kill an orc?
Maybe?
Like, I mean, I was really, like, I don't know if you guys heard me. I gasped a little bit. Like, I mean, we've always seen
Garona stabbing someone.
Yeah, and we've seen, like, magic, but we haven't actually, I don't feel like we've seen, like, that scene with the orc running towards. I feel like that always cut off right before the clash. So I was really surprised that was a human on the better end of that.
In the Durotan one, in the Durotan one, someone gets their head snapped. So, yeah.
Well, I missed out.
So
I kind of disagree.
Hands dirty.
So via the chat, somebody was like, Gul'dan doesn't look good. I disagree. Like, I feel like people are a little overly critical of CG. Like, I thought he looked scary and good. I didn't think he looked bad, and like, that's also like a very specific scene where he's doing big scary things. That's not what he's gonna look like when he's just having a polite conversation with his Gul'danlings.
Yeah, I also feel that some things translate better on a large screen than a small screen.
Well, and these are also, that's definitely part of it. Plus, at what, like, I know the 3D in this movie was done post-production, so I'm not sure, like, which version.
Right.
I hear noises. Where are those coming from?
There was a car outside.
Okay. It's so I only have one headphone in, and it's kind of sounded like growling, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what was growling at me? So I don't know. I don't think that Gul'dan looks bad personally. Like, but I'm also not one of those people who's like overly critical of that type. I think acting is 1,000 times more important than things looking like realistic. Like, I will cry at an animated movie. I do not care. Like, I that's not what breaks it for me, but that's just me. That's just me and my glass half full. Merchandise, lots of new stuff. In the Blizzard Gear Shop, there are new Overwatch Genji and Hanzo shirts. There's also the Razer Death Adder Chroma gaming mouse, as well as the Black Widow keyboard. Hopefully soon we'll see that special Overwatch bundle of, I think it's like headphones and a mouse.
And Baby Winston.
Yes! Yes, the Baby Winston plush is up. There's also like we were talking about, the Funko Pops as well as the Dorbs. And there are Doomhammer, Frostwolf, and Alliance Outline shirts. I'm going to get this all out and then I'll show the discount codes.
Okay.
Jinx also launched a new line of Overwatch clothing this morning. Tons of t-shirts. This is one of them. But there was also t-shirts featuring Tracer and Winston. There was t-shirts featuring multiple characters. There were a lot of
Lunar Ops. Like, that was kind of another cool
That
logo.
was the cool one. Yeah, the whole like Winston's like side gig thing, the science doohickey. There was also sweatpants and hoodies, windbreakers, wallets, keychains, like everything you could possibly imagine. The sweatpants were sick. There was also a lot of different just logos, which like there was like a gray shirt with a black logo, a white shirt with a black and orange logo, a black shirt with just a white logo, just a lot of different variations of the logos. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, that is at jinx.com. Also worth checking out the Blizzard Gear Shop, which is gear.blizzard.com.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
And we have coupon codes for both of those shops this month. The Blizzard Gear Shop code Wowhead Funko will give you 15% off of all classic Funkos, which does unfortunately exclude the Warcraft movie Funkos. At Jinx, if you use code Wowhead, you will get free shipping on Overwatch merchandise. Now, keep in mind, you will have to have a cart full of only Overwatch merchandise. If you mix and match, it won't give you the free shipping. So, might be worth making 2 orders. Unsure. Directions unclear. But if you were planning on picking up some of that new Overwatch gear, it is code Wowhead to get free shipping on all Overwatch products.
And we know we have a lot of international users, and I know some people complain, especially with the gear store, that going to Canada has ridiculous shipping. So, hopefully this will help you out if you are watching the show and you do not live in the US. Also, there's no minimum purchase required to get the free shipping. We tested this on like a $20 t-shirt.
Yep, so definitely worth grabbing. I have most of those t-shirts. If you're interested in seeing any of the new Jinx merchandise up close, I just did a haul video today on a lot of it. It's not all of it, but it's a lot of it. Hopefully those... There's a few things, like when they said we're sending you a package, I was like, oh, can I know what's inside of the package? And they told me, we're going to send you a bunch of the new Overwatch stuff. And it was funny because awesome. I looked at the catalog that's coming out in the fall. I don't know why they would show me that. I'm way too excited about everything. But I saw the new catalog that's coming out in the fall, and there's a really cool Legion thing coming out. Like, guys, I'm just saying, there's a Legion thing coming from Jinx in the fall that is like, you will die. It is so fantastic. I will show it to you after, okay. But like friend DA, right. If you show anyone, Jinx will send someone to kill me.
Oh no.
They didn't tell me that, but I can only assume.
Pepe will fight.
Pepe. But so, yeah, I love the 76 shirt. And this also came, if you like this shirt, this came in white as well. If you would rather have the white and like blue and red variant instead of like the blue and red and yellow variant. But it's a cool t-shirt. And Jinx has
I
nice
feel like
anyways.
A lot of people wouldn't, it's not clear on like the default UI that it comes in different colors. So it would be good.
Almost all of those shirts come in multiple colors. Like of the Jinx ones that came out, like almost even like the plainer ones that are black, a lot of them have a gray option. So when you go to check out, check before you do your sizing, because a lot of them have drop downs for sizes. So yeah, I think that's all we have to talk about for this show, but before we go, I do want to mention...
about St. Jude's.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Pepe is an elephant.
Yes, okay, so first and foremost, as you may have noticed, our Pepes never forget. The reason for this is that Precious Mage on Twitter, who we talk about all the time because we love her, she makes these cute little crochet hats for Pepe, and the month of May, she has pledged to only make hats to benefit St. Jude, and her and I had kind of an extensive conversation about what would be the best hat to represent St. Jude, and when I visited St. Jude for the very first year, they told us this whole story about how the mascot of Target House, which is one of the housing facilities, is an elephant because elephants have really great memories. They have really strong family structures. They're known for being, like big and strong and living long lives. They're also a symbol of good luck in a lot of cultures. So overall, they're just kind of a really good mascot for the kids at St. Jude's. So Precious agreed to make these really cute little Pepe elephant hats with $15. The sale price, I believe, is $20, and 15 of that will go directly to St. Jude. She's already made a ton of donations. I want to say she's over $1,000 already.
Yeah, she made her goal, and I think if you get like $250, if you donate that, you get a really cool rainbow, handmade blanket.
She did that for $250. I was talking to her about that. I told her to go higher.
Wow. Well, someone donated that amount.
But yeah, that's amazing. So she has a lot of cool stuff going on. I've been streaming a ton. My audience is like the coolest. They're the coolest people in the entire world. Apologies, people outside of my audience, but people in my audience are super cool. I believe we're at 12,200 and the event has only been going on for a week. Today, I believe, is the 8th day of the event. I will be streaming immediately after Wowhead Weekly, and what's cool is that Freenknown, who is kind of well known in the World of Warcraft community, she does a lot of Blizzard art. She's known for doing like badges. She was a finalist in the Wowhead art contest with her Vrykrill women fighting each other, right? That was her?
The Demon Hunter and the Valkyr.
The Demon Hunter and the Valkyr. I tried, okay?
It's still my desktop, so
I tried. So yeah, her art is super amazing, and she actually is donating a custom Twitter avatar to one random winner today. So anybody who donates to St. Jude under my link, which is playlive.stjude.org/trade chat, every $5 is essentially a raffle ticket to win a piece of custom Freenknown art, which is not cheap because it's amazing. So it's a really cool prize. She also very generously messaged me before I went live today and said, oh, there she is. Hi, Freenknown. She also messaged me and said that if somebody happens to just be feeling like a complete generous baller and donates $1,000 via my stream tonight, she will do their portrait, like a full portrait. That's only for the first person to donate $1,000 total. So if that interests you at all, if you want to really help out the kids and families at St. Jude and research going forward and get a sweet piece of custom art, $1,000 is the price, and there's only one of those. So Freenon said basically just looking for crazy people, but it's a really, really great cause. All of those donations are tax deductible. St. Jude is one of the most reputable charities in the country, and they have done a lot of amazing work and made not a full body portrait. I knew what you meant. I'm sorry if I miscommunicated that. I kind of pointed to my whole self, but face portrait, not you get it. Don't be naked, be clothed. So yeah, it's a really great organization, and if you are interested in making a donation, follow me over to my stream once this one ends. And I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and you're going to be on next week, right?
Oh yeah.
Is that your date? Where's my planner?
That's me. Well, first I was going to say that Freenon did really awesome art of Panzer and me last year for BlizzCon.
Yes.
She has a really cool, unique style of stuff, so definitely check her work out. I think the Diablo account recently featured her wallpaper of Imperius, so definitely check out her style. It has kind of the serious angle of WoW, which I appreciate as well. But you can also do really silly stuff, like Panzer doing selfies. But for me, Perk kind of has she's kind of like a demon hunter. She gets her hands dirty. She has a rogue background.
Yeah.
And she got this. She did this really cool smirk on Perk's face, which captured her character well. So I am happy that I have art by Freenon.
So I gave her no direction last year. Just by the way, she was like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I'm not kidding. And she sends me back this unbelievable portrait of my in-game character, but at the time I still had glasses, with my black glasses like I wore in real life, pink hair, winking, peace sign, doing a selfie, bubbles everywhere, wolf on my head. Just, it couldn't have been more. I feel like there was a frog too. It was the most amazing thing.
There was a frog.
It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. And I gave her zero direction. Zero. I was like, I play a shaman. And she just invaded my brain and figured me out, and it was amazing. So yes, if you are interested in winning a piece of Freenon art for yourself, a Twitter avatar, or if you're feeling very generous and want to make that $1,000 donation to get yourself a bust up portrait, not busted up, a bust up portrait, playlive.stjude.org/trade chat, or immediately following this stream, follow me over to twitch.tv/trade chat. So I think that is all the things.
I will be on the stream next year.
Yes, next week. Yes, next week.
Also probably next year.
Also probably next year. Immediately following next week's show, Perk will be here, and we will be doing either alpha or beta stuff, depending on what's going on in life. It will likely just kind of be exploration, showing off zones, showing off things. It won't be
I will go through every room in Suramar and be look at the wallpaper, and
that's fine.
Look at the desserts, and look at the wine glasses.
Yeah, and I actually so I've been saving prizes for when you were here. So I have a bunch of Blizzard Gear Shop stuff that I'm going to be giving away while you're here.
We should give away Pepe's.
I don't have any Pepes. I'm sorry.
Oh. Maybe I should give away Pepe.
I mean, if you want to give away Pepes, that's fine. Here, I'll show you what I have. It's right here. Oh my god, there goes my headphone.
Oh no.
Oh my god, this box is huge. So, I'm not kidding. Do you see this?
Wow. That is a huge box.
It is a large box. I have a Horde hat.
Okay.
I don't have Pepes, but I do have plushies. I have...
Pepe
I can't open it, but this is the purple Murloc plushie.
Oh, cool.
I also have the Fairy Dragon plushie.
Ooh, that is very cool.
And that's an expensive one. And
I
have
that's $35.
Yeah, I have a bunch of these little Carbot animation baby Zerglings that come with the lanyard. I have an Illidan lanyard. I have
we did that 2 weeks ago.
a Hearthstone bottle opener. I have a Lich King keychain, as well as an Illidan keychain, and for some reason, I have a Hearthstone beach towel.
Hey, I mean, that's... Yeah. People like Hearthstone. It's
Right?
a very popular game, as we covered on the investor call.
Yeah. So, but I do have good... I mean, I don't have Pepes, but I have plushies. I wish they would have sent me Pepes, but... Beggars can't be choosers, and I am a beggar.
Yeah. Maybe I will...
Oh my god, my headphone. Jeez. Can dress me
I
up, but you
think
can't
that-
take me out.
I think that, I think that's about it for the notes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely watch Pendra's stream. She does awesome stuff, and you get really into it, and all your donation incentives are cool. And she reaches 15,000, she will dye her hair rainbow.
Everybody, okay, it's so funny. So I have a friend locally who's a YouTuber, which is like mind-blowing to me that I met someone locally who also is a full-time YouTuber. And like I went over to her house today because I had to drop some stuff off, and she was like, "You're so close to dyeing your hair rainbow. I can't wait." Like Perk's excited about, everybody's super excited. You know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna end up, if I hit it this weekend, I'll have rainbow hair in all of those movie interviews.
That would be really cool.
And hopefully they'll ask me, like, why do you look like this? And then I can be like, charity, and then they're all rich and famous, so maybe they'll donate a ton of money to St. Jude.
Will you be on the stream, Rob Kaczynski?
Oh my god, I die!
You're like, we
I die! Perk, you're a brilliant person. He'll never do it. I'm too creepy. I don't even know how I'm gonna like contain myself. Like, I have to sit in a room with Travis Fimmel. What am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna say? Like, how am I gonna prevent myself from opening my mouth and being like, take your pants off? It's not appropriate. You can't say that. I have to get all the inappropriate things out of my head before I go. I told Nick, I was like, if I ask Travis Fimmel to run away with me if I leave you, is that okay? And he was like, I would ask him the same question.
Wow.
We love him. But we also love Rob Kaczynski. I'm big fans of both of them, and they're the two people I didn't get to meet, so I'm very afraid of how much I'm going to vomit fangirl all over both of them. I have to hold it in. I have to find...
Like, especially if everyone is all like Jade and they're like, so the CGI and like...
Oh my god. And I don't know what to wear. Like, I feel like this is all real journalists. Like, they're only letting one, like, influencer go. The rest is real.
Why don't you wear, like, a Horde t-shirt but, like, a blazer? I feel like you
I'm wearing leggings. You're crazy. I am wearing, like, my Horde armor leggings. And if I can somehow incorporate a Horde shirt as well, and then I'm gonna glare at the Alliance actors the whole time.
I mean, I feel like a shirt could go well. Like, if you wear the detailed leggings and you pair that with like a plain shirt, like I think that could balance well if the shirt has the colors of the leggings.
I like that you think I don't want to look like a crazy person. I appreciate that, but like I don't know.
I would dress up like that.
I don't know what I'm gonna do because I just don't know like how. Because I mean I know that part of the reason that I was picked is because I'm an obscene fangirl. Like I'm so excited about this. It's not like I'm faking it. Like I am genuinely like this all the time. So I know that that's part of the reason that I was very, 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 very extremely lucky to be selected for this is because they know anything that comes out of my mouth is going to be ridiculous. So, and you know, I asked them like, what should I wear? And they're like, we told Universal about you, so you do you. What do you mean you told them about me? What does that mean?
Yeah. Do they have a warning?
Is there like a photo? Like, don't let this girl within 10 yards of you. She's nuts. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna wear. Maybe I'll like put some suggestions on Twitter and let you guys vote or something. I don't know because I'm actually in between multiple pairs of Horde leggings. This is my life problem.
I feel like you should wear the fancy ones.
Not the black and red ones, but the armor ones.
Yeah.
See, I have like a really nice like gray shirt that I could pair with that. Then I would sort of not look crazy. But then it's almost disappointing that in the interview I wouldn't look crazy.
Well, don't you have the Jinx Horde sweatshirt?
Yeah, but it's sort of like
not the sweatshirt, but like the punk one.
I know what you're talking about. It's sort of like a dress thing, though, so I'm not sure how that would look all, like, paired together. I wish I had a Horde scarf. I have a Hearthstone scarf. If I had a Horde scarf, we'd be in business.
I feel like we should keep discussing this, because, like...
We have a lot of things to talk. We have to go, guys. Yeah. Before we do that, I would like to thank everybody who subscribed today. We had a bunch of new subscribers today. We officially have breached the number of people that we needed to get new emotes. New emotes are coming soon by the lovely Fabelina, so we're very, very excited about that. So thank you, everybody who subscribes. Thank you, everybody who subscribes to Wowhead Weekly, which is a premium Wowhead service. Takes all of the ads off of your page. Hold a thought. Anybody who subscribes to Wowhead Weekly on Twitch now has no ads.
Yeah.
That's a new thing that's very exciting. But thank you to everybody who also subscribes to Wowhead Premium. It's a premium service that removes all of the ads from Wowhead as long as you are signed in. It works on mobile and desktop. You can customize your Today in Draenor. You can track quests. You can talk in a special color when you talk in the comments. All sorts of fun perks. Plus, it directly supports Wowhead. And thank you to everybody who follows us on Twitch, subscribes to us on YouTube, watches our videos, tunes into the webpage, it's all for you guys. It's all super helpful and we appreciate it. We will be here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel at twitch.tv/wowhead at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And then, of course, as always, we'll upload the VOD the next day. And a perk is going to be on the St. Jude stream next week afterwards. And I think that's it. I think that's all the things.
That's it.
That's it. So we're going to go. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. We will see you soon. I was going to say I love you all. You're in my hearts, but that's not here. That's not here. We're going. Okay.
We still love you for watching.
Like, we still love you. Goodbye. Bye. Have a good weekend, guys.